When I think of Ronald, I think AIDS watches tomorrow. But really, when I think of Ronald, I think to ask myself if the work that I'm doing is transformational. So thank you, Ronald, for being such an inspiration.
When I think of Ronald Johnson, I think of unwavering dedication to the HIV movement. I think of a legacy of commitment that not only allows me and many others to be alive and living well with HIV today, but I also think of his personal sacrifices that have paved the way and inspired me and so many others to be the leaders in the HIV movement of our generation. So that's real.
When I think of Ronald Johnson, I think of good conversation, dedication, and jeopardy.
When I think of Ronald Johnson, I think of literally the nicest, best boss I've ever had. Thank you so much for everything you've done for the LGBT community and your 30 plus years of amazing service. We will miss you.
When I think of Ronald Johnson, I think of someone who's peaceful, someone who's kind, and someone who's composed. Thank you, Ronald, for being part of us, and thank you for all that you did at AIDS United.
When I think of Ronald Johnson, I think of him being a first responder, the first HIV positive public official, legendary, which he never admits, a dry wit, and occasional cocktail bets.
When I think of Ronald Johnson, I think of the legacy his leadership, advocacy, and strength has afforded us in the HIV arena. Thanks, Ronald.
When I think of Ronald Johnson, I think of a brilliant, compassionate leader and a friend. Ronald, I'm honored to have worked closely with you and to learn from you. Thank you.
When I think of Ronald Johnson, I think of a strong leader who's kind and generous. Thank you, Ronald, for all that you've done. AIDS United is truly a better place because of you.
I think of Ronald. Let's see, the first thing that comes to mind is that smile. Oh my gosh. And then right after that would probably be just how inspirational his entire journey is and how much I strive to put together pieces of some of the awesomeness that he has been to this field and to the world in some of the work that I do.
Hi, I'm Congresswoman Barbara Lee, and I represent the 13th District of California, which includes Oakland and Berkeley. Ron, first of all, let me just congratulate you on your retirement and thank you for 30 years of service. Thank you for being such a strong advocate for those living with HIV and AIDS. Your work has saved countless lives. We're going to miss you, but congratulations.
Of Ronald Johnson, I think of one of the most genuine, brilliant, and humble legends I've ever had the pleasure of working with. Thank you for your amazing contributions to the field and for being a steadfast leader in our community.
When I think of Ronald Johnson, I think of the human impact, because Ronald never lets us forget how the policy will affect the people. Thanks, Ronald.
When I think of Ronald Johnson, I think of humility and leadership. Thank you, Ronald, for all that you have done and continue to do in our community.
When I think of Ronald Johnson, I think of dedication, determination, and drive. Respectfully, thank you, Ronald Johnson.
When I think of Ronald, I think of kindness, commitment, and a massive smile. Ronald, thank you for everything you do and more.
Hello, I'm Congresswoman Maxine Waters. I'm so sorry that I could not be with you this evening, but I wanted to take a moment to salute Ronald Johnson, who I truly consider a hero in the fight against HIV and AIDS in this country. Ronald, for the past 30 years, you have been a tireless champion in the fight against HIV/AIDS. From being one of the earliest community advocates for the Minority AIDS Initiative to championing the Ryan White Program and the National HIV/AIDS Strategy, your contributions as an advocate for people living and affected by HIV and AIDS has changed so many lives. So congratulations on your retirement, and I wish you the best in the next chapters of your life. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ronald, for all that you do and all that you will continue to do for the community. And yeah, I'll see you at the next Pop Grant Review.
Thank you, Ronald, for being a joy to work with and an inspiration for all of us.
Thank you, Ronald. I appreciate you being a teacher, a mentor, a conscience. I'm going to ask, what would Ronald do when I'm making my decisions? Oh, and write your book.
Thank you, Ronald, for just being an amazing mentor, a person that I can look over to and know that good work is happening and awesome change is moving forward.
Thank you, Ronald, for all that you have done for Age United and all that you have done for the community. I wish you the best.